Hey guys, welcome back to another one here on the channel. In today's video, we're taking a look at how you can use the most basic formula to help you predict current. All you need to know is what you plan to go and improve your system by, whether it's voltage or it's kV. If you plan to bump the kV or bump the voltage to make your radio controlled vehicle go faster, and you have a known amount of current that it already pulls, you can use this exact formula to help give you an estimate. Now this will work whether you are using kV or voltage, like I said, but it'll also work if you're running a radio controlled car, or if you're running a radio controlled boat or a radio controlled plane. Now today's particular example is going to be with an electric ducted fan jet. So how do you predict the EDF current? That's exactly what we're going to get into. I'm going to show you the most basic formula. We're going to go into a little bit more of an advanced way of determining and estimating these values, and then we're going to even show how you can revise this formula to add just one element into it to make it even that much better, and I'm going to show you that as well. So stay tuned for all these things coming right up. Let's jump into it and get right into that first slide, going through step one. Now the simplified formula is literally this easy. You have three values that you need to know, and you're calculating for that fourth. Now in our example that we're going to go through here today, I have a couple motors that we're going to throw into an electric ducted fan jet, and both of these motors have different kVs. The one motor has a 1050 kV, and the second motor that we're going to throw in has a 1250 kV. The big question that we're going to be answering here today is exactly how much is my current going to go up when I throw those motors in. So now the next thing I need to do is take that 85 amps, that's going to represent my I1 here. The kV1 is going to represent the kV of number one motor, which is the 1050 kV motor, and the kV2 is the 1250. So we throw those values in, this is what it looks like, and then when we calculate the actual answer to this, it shows us that we're going to go from 85 amps here, shown here in the middle, up to 143.5 amps. Now that is quite serious. That's nearly double the amount of current. And all we're doing is going from 1050 kV to 1200 kV. Now, if you ran a radio controlled boat, you can do the exact same thing, throw in these values and compute your value of current here. Now, the big thing is if you're doing this for a radio controlled car, you can't use your acceleration current. You have to use your steady state current at top speed. That's the key for a radio controlled car. Now, if you're looking at this, there's one issue here and it's really difficult to spot. I'm going to talk about that here shortly in the video. It even affects the next thing that I'm going to show you. If you know what this is, throw it in the comment section below. I'm now on the radiocontrolinfo.com website, and what I've done is I've gone onto the RC calculators and I've selected the RCexplained EDF calc. That brings us to this particular page. Now what I've done is I've gone through a lot of the old calculators on the website have been fully transferred into this app, and what I have done here is I'm still yet to get to this, and I'm still yet to get to one section that I threw over here, and that is under the brushless motor guides. Now we're going to use this very shortly here, and this might be a hint and clue as to what we're going to get into, but here is where you'll find that, and I'm going to show you more about it when we get to that step. So what we have here is something that is really cool. I've had this on the old website, but I do believe my radio controlled airplane using a propeller and the EDF one has always been very silent. I don't think I really even had the speed run calc because I wasn't super happy with the results that I was getting from it, but now I am. I've done a whole lot more testing here within the last several years that helped me put this together. So we're going to throw in the jet fan 90 millimeter, and we're going to throw in 12 cells. This is how many cells we're using in this particular setup. What I'm going to do now is go to the Leopard motor. Now uniquely, the 4092 is what I actually had in the jet. I thought it was the 4082 1000 because that is even more unique with a kV concern, and that's another hint as to what we're getting at here. Now when we get into the ESC selection, we have 120 amp HV from Castle, and here's another unique thing about this particular calculator. Here I can go in and select the actual battery. This is using the data that we've tested here on the RCexplained channel. Now everyone has access currently to this entire calculator as well as everything that you see on the left hand side. However, if you are an Insights member or Battery Benchmark Squadron, you're going to have more advanced functionality and features within this, including what I just did here, which is be able to select a lithium polymer battery pack that we've actually tested and have actual data to use in our calculation. I don't think this kind of thing is found anywhere else on the internet in terms of these types of calculators. Now let's try this. We calculate that. It shows us that we're going to get just under that 80 amp mark, and we're going to be pulling somewhere around 4.5 kgs of static thrust. And you can see that's going to equate to about 3,400 watts of power. And that's right around that 44 volt mark, which is kind of cool because it was actually around that 44 volt mark. Now, a couple functions that we have here, if we scroll a little bit further, is we can do a battery comparison. This is kind of a beta that I have set up right now. I've not had anything like this done before, but you can see specifications if you're using different types of batteries and how the current is going to go up, but based on using those specific batteries. So I might change the way that this is viewed, but if you are a member of the Benchmark Squadron for batteries, you'll be able to access this as well. And then you can also save your EDF setups. This is where they will end up going, and you do that by saving the setup here. And then you can load your setup so that you can remember which components you have selected if you want to call that back sometime in the future. So now let's go back up and take a look at our motor and go to that 4082 1250 and then hit that recalculate button and see what kind of results we get from this. In this case, we just show under that 115 amp mark with 4750 watts of power, and we're getting closer to 6 kgs of static thrust. So you can see the difference here where our estimation was showing over 140. Here we're showing 112.8. Now let's jump into what is actually influencing a lot of the numbers that we get in actuality in comparison with the calculator. I've worked really hard at trying to nail down the calculations and get them so that all the motor manufacturers are coming out as close as possible to the actual values. Here's a brushless motor where I'm spinning this up, and then we get a frequency there on one of the multimeters and a voltage on the other multimeter. This is where you go to that motor guides area of the website. I'm going to probably be changing the location of where you'll find that sometime in the future. That's where you need to go, and then you can use those calculators to determine the value that you're going to see here very shortly. So I did the same thing on the first motor, and then I threw the second 1250 kV motor in there and took another reading. Now here is the chart that we get from those two tests. This is what it works out to. Now if you look at the 1050 here, it's the second row, we get a rating of the kV at 1050, but the actual was 1017. Not too bad, that's about minus 3.1%. Now it's funny because the motor I thought I had in the plane was the 1000 kV motor, which would have been 10.5% off. It was actually 1105 when I measured the kV of that motor. And this came from many years ago where I did this. I might even have another video where we went through this kind of data. And I did that exact same setup, measuring the motor RPM as well as measuring the voltage that we get when we spin up that motor. And here is all the results that we got. Now the 1250 kV motor rated at 1250 actually came out to 1335. This is a 7% difference in the kV value. And that is quite alarming. And this is one of the biggest concerns and issues that I have when I go through this type of thing. There's nothing that I can do within the calculator alone that's going to fix this problem because the motor KVs are never going to be the exact value that it says on the can. I do expect error, but when I tested this 1000 kV, and by error I mean a tolerance from the manufacturer, when I tested two of these 1000 kV motors, one went to a friend, I took the other one, they were actually very close to that 1100 mark, which quite surprised me. So now if I look at some of the other motors, we actually have one that came in perfect at 2550. It was right bang on. This is the first time I've ever seen that in all the years that I've been doing this. And then the Castle, you can see all of them 1.8, 2.3, minus 0.6. They're all about averaging, if I take this entire list, including the 10.5, they're off about 3% as an absolute value. 3% is not that big of a deal, but when you start getting more than double, like 6.8%, where one motor that we're testing is under by 3%, one is over by 7%, that's a difference in kV between both of them of 7%. That is huge, and my online calculator is never going to be able to compensate this. So how does that affect us when we're actually going through this and determining the actual values? Well, when we throw in the simplified formula, the new values that we get, this is what they are. 1335 goes on the top, 1017 goes on the bottom. If you're wondering how to do that calculation, you just do the division there first, and then you can take it to the power of 3. And that will work out. Multiply that by 85, and this is the answer that you get. 192 amps now is what it's saying this motor is going to do, because we have such a massive difference in the kV. Now, one of the issues that this doesn't include is something quite important. When we load a lithium polymer battery pack at a higher load, no matter what you do and try to help that thing out, it's always going to perform at a higher current at lower voltage. So the problem with this simplified version is that we're not compensating for the difference in voltage. Now, what we can do is we can add that voltage element to this. I'm going to show you that here in a second, and that is going to help significantly. So let's go ahead and now look at exactly what we do there. Now, when I did this for the first time, obviously you're going to have to either know what kind of value you have for voltage there for your motor number 1, and it would be good if you can estimate the best that you can the voltage for number 2, because we can only have one variable here, and that is the I number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw these values in here. The estimation is just under the 40 mark there. 39.8 is how it worked out. And then I'm estimating that under load at 85 amps, we're going to get 44 volts, which works out to about 3.7 volts per cell. And we're about 3.3 volts per cell there for the 39.8. So the difference there is now going to help us out. Now, when we go through this and look at the next value, we get an I2 of 142.3 amps. That is so much better than the 190 something that we were at. This helps us get a really good idea as to where are we going to be. Now, if we go and run the radio controlled electric ducted fan jet up and see how much power we're pulling, here you can see that the amount of power that we pull under load here on a topped off battery is going to be 133 amps, just over that 130 amp mark, and it quickly settles below that 130 amp mark if you stay into it for any sort of length of time. Same thing with that 85 amp. You probably saw it. It's coming down from that 85 amp mark. So this goes to show it here. This is actually using the proper KVs. If we use the proper KVs in the actual online calculator, I know these values would be a lot closer to it, but this is the thing that I can't help when I go and put so much motor data into the motor data set. Now, sometime in the future, we're going to go through a video that talks a little bit more about these particular calculators. They're really cool, especially the ones flagged with the gold RCexplained. That's the more advanced calculators found on the website. I'm going to take some of these remaining airplane calculators and I'm going to convert them over to the new style very shortly, I really hope, and then we're going to eliminate this old calculator heading. Can't wait until that is done, and then what I'm going to plan to do, I'm going to blow the dust off the RCexplained prop calculation tool that I have, and I'm going to put that on here as well. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. As always, like the video if you do. Don't forget to hit that sub button so that I can see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one.